All right, everybody. So, yeah, my first drama video. Hope this won't come back to bite me. We're back on Ubuntu Unity right now because, well, Ubuntu Lomiri is unusable. Not a knock against the project. It explicitly says it's testing only, but yeah. So I saw a little project. Let's see here. Let me see if I can't let's see here. What is that website? Okay. ravendevteam.org. Okay. So I saw a little YouTube video by this guy, KO, that said, "Hey, devs, I need your help. I made a new internet." And he didn't exactly elaborate on what he meant by that, which is the problem I have with this. To be clear, I don't think this is a scam. So if you go to the Betanet webpage, they list bounties here for programming stuff. Oh, this has gone up a lot since I last checked this. So I have every reason to believe that if you donate money to this project, it will go to these bug bounties, all right? I have not seen anything to contradict that idea, okay? So to be clear, I don't think this is an outright scam. I just am iffy on whether it's actually a good idea or not. So, well, a good idea. I don't even know what their idea is. They weren't very clear on that, right? So, so it's not a scam as far as I can tell. All right, it's just I think it might be a bad project. Okay, and if the Raven guys see this, maybe they can clarify what they mean by some of this stuff. So I'm gonna start with like the pettiest little problem, the most nitpicky thing ever. This is a Linux channel, so I gotta say it. They're completely focused on Windows. like if you're focused on privacy, maybe you should start by switching to Linux. Hey. So that is completely petty. This is not the real issue I have with this project, but I just had to say it. So I mean, like Talon, simple utility to debloat Windows. Let me tell you the problem I have with Windows, even when you debloat it. Okay. Oh hey, there's Mutahar. I haven't watched Mutahar in years, but apparently he got canceled for something recently. I haven't watched Mutahar in years. I don't care. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't even know why I mentioned it. But yeah. He got canceled for something. I don't know. But anyway. So here's my problem with Windows, even when you quote unquote debloat it. Okay. So Microsoft has a right to execute code on your system without notice. All right, that is a legal thing. That is in their end user license agreement. Okay, don't fuck with it. Don't even fuck with it. You know? No, I don't care. This is like as I've said before, this little mini PC spends most of its time unplugged anyway, and I'm gonna nuke and pave this install with regular Ubuntu for this Thursday's video. So yeah, yeah, I just wouldn't personally. I wouldn't even fuck with Windows in the first place. But again, petty, completely, pretty much unrelated to my actual issues with this project. Okay, so and then I have to go back to home and click on Betanet again. Yeah, so in the YouTube video, they say, you know, they say, for example, that it won't require mass adoption by the users, it'll require mass adoption by the developers. Okay, so how? What is it doing exactly that people don't have to install a new browser or whatever? What exactly are you doing here? And I get the want for privacy on the internet, right? And the need to have a newer standard, right? Because, you know, when Tim Berners-Lee first created the World Wide Web back in 1989, I think it was. I think it was when it was released to the public, or I can't remember. But when he and his team at CERN released the web onto the public, they were like, oh, everything's going to be open. You know, we don't need any security because it's just going to be universities and libraries and governments. And then the corporations got a hold of it and money got involved, and now it's all a clusterfuck, right? So I get the need to have like security on the web, but see, here's the thing, right? The web is an interface onto the internet, right? So when you say you made a new internet, maybe that's just some marketing stuff that you said to get interest, but it kind of confused me personally a little bit, because like it doesn't seem like you're making a new internet protocol like Gopher or Gemini. It doesn't see. I don't think you're replacing any TCP/IP things, and you're definitely not constructing any new physical infrastructure, because that's a fucking pipe dream for governments, let alone to developers plus whatever contributors they can scrounge together, right? I mean, you know, I think like the Meshtastic and by extension the LoRa people are kind of trying to. They're not like they're making a new network type deal, but it's not a replacement for the internet. It's literally just, or in Meshtastic's case, it's literally just a way to send messages without needing a cell tower or a Wi-Fi connection, right? And in LoRa's case, it's basically just a standard to send radio signals over very long distances, agnostic of any purpose in and of itself, right? As far as my understanding, I should mention I'm not a developer. So some of this, to be fair, some of this is going to go over my head, right? I'm not a developer. I don't work in networking. I don't work in any sort of tech field. That's not even where my education is, right? My education is in history, right? So, but some things about this project, again, are just setting off my bullshit detector, right? So another problem I have with this is that they say new features will be implemented by voting. Okay, so a lot of people are saying that I've seen criticize this are saying that this will result in a system governed by clout, by whoever has the most money to get the server farms up to do the proof of work. And we'll get to the proof of work and the cryptocurrency thing later on. But the thing that really bothers me is, how is this voting going to work in the first place? Like, do the server owners propose a feature and then like everybody votes on it to like fund it? What is going on here? You know, KO and Oh god, who's the other guy? Don't fail me now, middle click. Pharaoh. So KO and Pharaoh, they seem to be the only like full-time developers on this, and maybe they'll get more full-time developers in the future, or maybe they're not even full-time. I don't know. I don't know this Raven dev team from Adam. This is the first I've heard of them. But like do like the server owners submit proposals and then everybody votes on them? Because like what is even your development model, right? Because if it's you know, benevolent dictator for life, how is this voting even going to be a thing at all, right? So like, how is this going to even work in the first goddamn place, right? So, and then and then the YouTube video KO talks about, oh, mutually assured destruction. If you try to nuke Betanet, you'll nuke the whole internet. Well, as we've seen, authoritarian governments don't have a fucking problem with that, for one. And for two, what do you mean by that? Like I understand that it's supposed to like camouflage itself against like the regular internet, but your servers have to run from somewhere, right? Like the server that's like serving up these web pages has to be physically located somewhere, right? And if a state actor wants to take down a Betanet site, they just have to find out where your data center is. I mean, are there safeguards against that? If there are, they're probably not adequate. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. You make one misstep, and you're done, right? There's things you can do to protect yourself against like things that cast a wide net. If a state actor is fixated on you specifically, you're donezo, buddy. There's nothing you can do. You know, go be a hermit in the fucking woods. That's your only option, right? So, you know, this isn't going to be, I don't know, I just don't know what you mean by that, right? Like, and authoritarian governments aren't shy about shutting down the whole internet anyway, or putting up a firewall to all internet traffic anyway, right? I mean, look at North Korea. They have their own intranet, right? If you're a regular citizen in North Korea and you go to like a library or university, you can get on a computer and browse their local intranet. You can't get out to the wider internet, right? And like with China, how does this get past the Great Firewall, right? Like can't they just block the traffic from the server? Like, what's stopping them from doing that, right? Like, they don't have to nuke the entire internet to block one IP address, do they? Like what's it doing against that? You know, I mean, maybe you do have something planned to get around that, or maybe it's buried somewhere in the technical jargon. Like if I go to this unformatted specification document, I mean, I don't understand this. Like, let's see here. There's a section on voting. Okay, governance and versioning. That's enough. Okay. So, I mean, okay, voting power. Here we go. Vote weight equals uptime score plus log 10 parentheses total eCash stake. I mean, is this code? Is this code? What is this? Oh, you know what this might be? This might be like Markdown or something. Okay. Okay, GitHub. So that's another thing. Like, this is the GitHub repository for Betanet. Is there actually any code here? Like, okay. Let's see here. Let's see if there's something I can understand. Again, I am basically a layman. You might as well treat me like a layman, right? Governance and version. A layman with special interests. There we go. Per ASCAP. Sum of vote weight raw. Okay. Must be capped to 20% of the global total. Okay, so they are, so they do try to get around that clout thing, but like 20% is a lot. Same RPKI. I don't know what RPKI is. A proposal passes when all hold. Okay. Path diversity and ACK composition did not degrade by greater than 20% in the 7 days prior to close. Okay. All right, but so here's another thing that really set off my bullshit detectors. Well, Ethereum. So this is a cryptocurrency project, basically. The eCash that they're talking about, that's cryptocurrency. And anytime cryptocurrency comes up, I'm immediately suspicious. All right, as we should all be. All right, and the other thing with the cryptocurrency is, you know, Bitcoin was anonymous until somebody cracked it and figured out how to track Bitcoin transactions. All right, you're not as anonymous as you think you are on the internet, even when you're doing stuff like this, right? I mean, it's like when people say, "Oh, I'm doing privacy because I use a VPN," and they log into Facebook with their full legal name and they put their address on there, and they're like, "Hey, I'm going on vacation. Here's my address. Please burgle me." You know, like, I don't get it. You know, just like what's the point then? Like, I can guarantee you that the coffee shop owners, this doesn't have anything to do with this, but I can guarantee you that your local coffee shop's Wi-Fi is like the least of your problems, right? I just, you know, it's just like what is this replacing, right? What is the point of this? What are you trying to exactly do? Is this just like connection encryption? Because that's not a new internet. That's just an encryption layer, I guess. I'm a layman. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I know enough that this just doesn't sound like it's going to work very well. I'd love to be proven wrong. And you know, and I should mention, please don't go out and harass these guys. I don't have any kind of audience, but like, you know, just in case there's like a psycho out there who sees this, please don't go out and harass these guys. You can absolutely ask questions, but but you know, asking questions looks like, hey, what do you mean by this? It does not look like, hey, fuck you, right? So by all means, ask questions, do not harass. So yeah. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Let me double check here. Maybe I'll double check here. Hold on. GitHub. Yeah. Oh yeah. This reminded me of a really cool little thing. I read an article about years ago. Actually, come to think of it, maybe I wanted to read the article and then ended up never reading it. But there was when Salvador Allende was the president of Chile, his government created a project called Project Cybersyn, and I think it was called, yeah, Cinco. It was called Cinco in in Chile, and then of course the CIA couped Allende, and the project was completely destroyed, which sucks. But the article I read, or maybe I just left it open in a tab until I finally closed it and never read it. That's ADHD for you. But the article said that it was kind of a different, system of internet. And yeah, it probably would have been a whole different world if this had been allowed to grow. But yeah, so I personally don't really support this initiative, right? If you feel differently, that's okay, that's fine. But like I say, there's just a lot of things that were not said, and a lot of the documentation is kind of jargon heavy. So I just again, I'm not a developer. Maybe if an actual developer or someone who works in networking comes by and leaves a comment, please leave a comment, and can clarify some things for me. Maybe I'll change my mind. But yeah. So I just I don't know. Actually, one more thing. One more thing about the sorry, I have ADHD. One more thing about the whole mission of this. This does come at a time when the UK's Online Safety Act is going into effect, and I think the Kids Online Safety Act is back in Congress, or was back in Congress a little while back. I don't know what's happening with that anymore. I heard it was back on the table. It had been defeated previously. But this, they don't. To be fair, they don't claim this will solve that. But this will not solve that. If anybody looks at this project and thinks that this will solve that issue, it's not going to solve that issue. Okay, because because like in the UK, websites legally have to implement user ID verification, right? They legally have to, and anybody who doesn't is committing a crime. And that's the same even if you're on Betanet, right? That's exactly the same even on Betanet. So that's not a technological issue. That is a social issue, right? It's not, you're not going to solve that with encryption layers or crypto or cryptography or anything like that, right? That is a social issue, and you need to march on London like it's what's a good year that a march on London happened? I forget now, but ADHD strikes again. But yeah, no, just yeah. Sorry this video is a jumbled mess. I said to myself I should write notes, and then I didn't. Story of my life. I meant to do it, and then I didn't. So yeah, this Thursday, stay tuned because we will be looking at Ubuntu 24.04, mainline Ubuntu with the GNOME 40 desktop. All right, we'll see you then. Please leave a like, comment, and a subscription. Goodbye.